$11,385,449 with 88,887 backers. That was the final tally for the Critical Role Kickstarter for the Vox Machina animated series. Absolutely amazing, y'all. What an incredible feat. They did an after party last night on the Critical Role Twitch stream that you can go check out on their VOD. I'm sure they will probably put it on YouTube at some point, although they might not, but I would imagine that they will. Absolutely astounding. I'm so thrilled for them and glad that I could be some small little part of it in some small way. So hope you all stay tuned for that. As I get updates over the next year or so, I will probably share that kind of stuff with you. But I imagine now that the Kickstarter's over, the updates will be way more periodic. So this will be the last I will be doing the daily update for the Kickstarter. However, all kinds of great stuff for D&D, RPG, and such. And speaking of, I saw something super cool on Twitter yesterday. I'm going to try something new here on the stream. As I've mentioned, I'm trying to up my game with my vlog, so let's see if this works. I'm going to insert something right here. Okay, here we go. We're going to try something new and hope this works out the way I expect it to. So day one, let's give it a shot. I found this amazing information on Reddit. Now first, I should say I saw a tweet that led me to this article on Reddit. This is by the user Tom_Snow, and this is an incredible thing. I just had to share it with you today. The title of this is called Interesting Thing Happened After My Game Today, and you can read it yourself as I check through this, but in case you're just listening to this, it says, I run a D&D club in my school that sees all types of students, from sports kids to theater kids and AP to special ed. The school is predominantly Hispanic, and one student comes to me explaining how she was really quiet during the game because she didn't know how to say certain phrases in English. I thought about this for a second and asked her questions about her elf fighter's background. She said that she was a noble high elf, and I suggested that as part of her background, her family didn't allow her to learn Common, which explains for why she only knows so much Common English. I then proposed to the game if we made Elvish Spanish so that she can express questions in the game in Spanish and have one of our half-elven or elven Spanish speakers ask the question in English to the group, so that I'm helping my student learn English while also giving them something unique and special about their character. The last thing I want is a kid thinking they cannot play because of a language barrier. This is a game for everyone. Now, this is just an edit that I'm not going to read that you can go and check out on your own, but is that not amazing? And I am thrilled by that story. Can you believe that? I mean, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. So here's my experience. I have been playing Dungeons & Dragons since I was 10 or 12 years old, somewhere in that range. So like over 30 years of D&D, because I'm going to be 45 this year, right? So let's call it like 33 years of D&D, right? And other RPGs as well. And in that time, in my experience, this is my experience, D&D and RPGs was only ever about inclusion. It was always, there was always room at the table. Always. It was like, you want to play? Cool! Another player! It was like, I was always excited to find other people that were interested in gaming and tabletop gaming. Because in my, maybe it's because when I started playing, I was in a little rinky-dink, tiny little town. Like, there were like 112 kids in my grade. I pretty much knew them all, right? So there weren't a lot of kids that were playing, and the ones that did were sort of like the outsiders, the outcasts or whatever, or at least we were certainly the geeks. That is for sure. But I kept playing it for years and years, and even in high school it was the same thing. Like, I found some guys in high school that played, none of us were like super popular or anything like that. I mean, I was the closest to a jock, and I ran like cross country, and I was a wrestler and did track, and I wasn't certainly not any kind of a star. I'm just an athletic dude. I like getting outside and, you know, like when I was a kid, see, it made in 1974, right? So I'm gonna sound like an old fart for a second. But when we were kids, we went out and played. That was what we did. It wasn't like, give me my phone, or where's the, you know, give me the controller for the, you know, PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever. There wasn't all of this stuff to watch and to participate in digitally. Everything was analog. Like dial-up rotary phones and you know, like, oh my gosh, I remember when the Atari came out, the Atari 6400, and like, I remember when the first PC was introduced and stuff like that. So I remember the sort of the beginnings of Dungeons and Dragons, like when it came on TV as a cartoon, and when you could see TSR commercials on TV for the red box and the gold and black, and I mean, that was D&D for me. So all of this time, all of these years, D&D was always about inclusion. And this weird thing that I started hearing about gatekeeping, I heard about it like several years ago, and I was kind of, huh, that's weird. What's that about? Then I've seen lots of stuff on Twitter, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. That hasn't been my experience. Like, I would certainly never tell a woman, or when I was a kid, a girl, they couldn't play because they were a girl. That's ridiculous. But that was me. That was my experience. It was my friends. And I can totally understand, even though I can't relate to that experience, I can understand it. Like, there are schmucks in the world. That's the reality. There are people out there that are dicks. They're just douchebags, and they do dumb shit. So pardon my language, but those words, I think, are appropriate. And if that was your experience, man, I apologize on behalf of like the rest of cool gamers out here. Like, wow, that sucks. I'm sorry you had to go through that. And isn't it cool that it's becoming cool and becoming hopefully the norm, that goes away, and what comes in is this new sort of like era in gaming, and especially in D&D and RPGs, where it's like, yeah, no, everybody's got a place. How cool is it that this teacher he's helping her learn English because she doesn't know how to say something, right? So she says it in Spanish, which becomes this really awesome in-game moment of like an elf, like someone speaking Elvish, but instead of it being Elvish, it's Spanish. How cool is that for their home game? Well, they're at the school, but whatever, for their home rules of their game. How cool is it that she gets to speak in another language in game for real, and then someone else at the table can translate for her? And now she hears the translation and starts making the connections of, oh, I wanted to say, I didn't know this word, and this word is blank. That's awesome. I'm getting chills, y'all. I'm literally getting chilled, like goosebumps, because of how cool I think this is. So I am just like, cheers, Tom Snow. This is incredible. I am definitely going to post on this. I will link you in the credits in the when I post it up on Twitter. I hope everybody check him out on Reddit and Twitter at Tom_Snow. And yo, my hat's off, like literally, my hat's off to you, sir. You are an amazing individual. I'm so glad you're in the D&D community. Thank you for representing correctly. Everybody, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I say I want to start a movement, y'all. Like, this game, maybe other RPGs aren't like that, and that's fine. I don't care. Honestly, I don't entirely care about other RPGs. I do, but mostly I care about D&D. I really think and want D&D to be that game, like, Everyone is welcome. And just because you find a group that it's not a good fit for you, that's okay, because you'll be able to you can find another group that you're a perfect fit in. That's what it's all about. And that's why I'm saying, please help me share this. Please help me spread this idea. It's your game. Play your way.